Hey guys, it's Scott here from Horse Racing Daily. I'm here to bring you my top long shot for the Kentucky Derby. And really, I'm not even going to bet him to win. I'm going to bet him to come in second because if you notice, since the point system came out in 2013, there's been a trend of a lot of, closers stepping up and getting second. They really don't get the win spot. That's been more for, pace pressers that, horses like to run in the front. But for some reason, closers, I always like to come in and get second. They do it at a lot of good odds. Like if you go to 2013, when the point system first started, you had Golden Soul, 50 to 1 on the, morning line. And you see, going back, to the Lecomte, he, closed, started ninth, finished second, seventh, you know, closed there. And you see, as a trend, of always, closing was 18 lengths back at the first call, closed to, 4 3/4. And, he stepped up and got second in the Kentucky Derby to Orb. And, you go to the 2014 Kentucky Derby, Commanding Curve, got second. He came in, 50 to 1 on the morning line, had, same trend, Risen Star, you see he's closer, in the Louisiana Derby, closer. And go to 2017, looking at Lee, 20 to 1 on the line. I think he went off at like 30 something to 1 in the Kentucky Derby. But you see, he has that trend, closing style, 10th at the first call, moved up to third, 11th to 6th, 10th to third. Just that classic closer, they don't win, but they seem to be making up ground. And I guess the Kentucky Derby gives them enough pace and enough, distance to be able to make up that ground. And to me, the horse that best fits that profile is Country House. And this is his, race that he broke his maiden on, January 17th. And here it is. You'll see coming out of the gate, he basically makes a left-hand turn and hits the rail and already spots the field, 5-6 lengths right there just off the beginning. He's still way back here in the back. And they're not flying up front. This is a really slow-paced race. We'll see what they run the quarter and the half in. You see that, quarter in 24.22. That's real slow. And, Country House is making a move to get back into contention. And you almost expect him to make the move to get there and then, flatten out. But, he just keeps coming. He starts to lose just a tiny bit of ground, but he'll, get back in the picture in a second. They run the half in 49.07. And, here comes Country House right here. And he's not going to come, up the rail and get a, dream trip. He's coming, 4 or 5 wide on the outside. I think they run a 3/4 in like 113, 114. See, he's making the move 114.44 for the 3/4. And, he's still coming. And, when they get to the top of the stretch, he's going to take the lead. And, from there, like, he doesn't look back. He's romping away. He shouldn't beat the field like this given, everything that went against him. But, he's going to open up and win by, 3 or 4 lengths here. I thought it was an impressive performance. And we'll go to the, Risen Star Stakes, which is, the next race that he was in. And I believe he is the 9 horse. You see he's, breaks at the back of the pack. And he's, third from last right here. And, the pace is solid in the race. They're not, they're not flying by any means. But you see he's already kind of, back in the back, he is temporarily behind horses, but now he's, out in the clear 23.71. Not flying, but good solid pace. And looks like he's second from last. Now he starts to, make his move right there. You can see him, coming really wide. The half in 47.36. And, War Will's going to win this race, but Country House done, pretty good to, close the gap. And, he's still coming. There he goes. You can see there's Roland, coming up, next to him. And he's going to come, a good 5-6 wide, and he's making up ground 112.20. And it looks like for a second he might, had an attempt to catch Warwell at the wire, then all of a sudden he, lugs out. There he goes again. I don't know, why he done that. If maybe, he doesn't like the distance, or what, I don't know. And then we'll go to the, Louisiana Derby. And, he's the 8 horse in this one. And, once again, he's going to, break a little slow. And that's just his, style. He's not going to, come right out in the front. He's going to, come to the back of the pack and gradually, pick horses off as they come. See, he's about a good, 3 wide on that first turn. Once again, the pace is, not super fast. He's ran into some, fairly solid pace races. Nothing, except that the maiden was really slow, but, in these stakes races, he's been, running into some, I'd say just good pace, nothing too slow, nothing, too fast. And, on the far turn, he's going to have to once again, come, 5 or 6 wide. I don't know if that's just, if he likes to be on the outside of horses, or maybe in the Kentucky Derby they can try to, let him shoot up the rail, because it always seems like he makes that wide move and he'll just, flatten out at the top of the stretch. Like if you look, right now there he is coming wide, and it looks like he's, has potential to win the race. And, he just, flattens out right there. There's, spin off. He was making the second start off the, lay off, really good horse. By my standards, is gonna, take the dream trip, up the rail. And, there's Swainio gets third. He just, flattens out. And then we'll go to the, Arkansas Derby. And they'll take off. He's once again the 8 horse. Wouldn't be surprised if he draws 8 again in the Kentucky Derby. Seems to be his number for some reason. Once again he's breaking at the, back of the pack. And, see on the first turn he's a good, 3 wide. Omaha Beach is, right, there's a Omaha Beach right there, and Probable's on the, inside. And, Country House is still at the back. And, this telecast is kind of tough to see, exactly what's, going on in the back. So, if he had any trouble, I really couldn't, tell you or not. But, you see him, You know, these horses in the back starting to catch up. I think that's him, and right there on the outside. You know, there goes Omaha Beach Improbable. There's, you know, great attempt, and Country House is going to come, you know, right up beside him. Right there, there's Country House, and he's coming in once again. You know, he's a good, you know, 5, 6 wide, and you know, it's looking like he might close, but you know, he'll come. It's like right when he gets there, he just, you know, flattens out. I don't know if he's just the type. Yeah, I don't think his distance, you know, if it turned out to be, it wouldn't be a surprise. But you know, I don't know why he keeps doing that. But if you look at, you know, past, you know, Kentucky Derby for winners, you know, they kind of have the same thing to get second. You know, like, you know, Golden Soul, you know, second, sixth, fourth wasn't, you know, winning, but he was, you know, closing ground. Same with, you know, Commanding Curve, you know, wasn't winning, closing ground. 17, Looking at Lee wasn't winning, but was closing ground. And if you want to add another coincidence, you know, Golden Soul, you know, Risen Star, Louisiana Derby. Commanding Curve, Risen Star, Louisiana Derby. Looking at Lee, he actually ran the Southwest and the Rebel, but you know, Country House actually ran them both, so it kind of fits. You know, just a coincidence that he's running a lot of the same, you know, races that these, you know, long shot bombers to get second have been, you know, coming up in. But you know, that's my opinion on Country House. Now, I wouldn't bet him to win, but I'd definitely include him in second on, you know, some exactas, you know, throw him in on trifecta, superfectas, and maybe get, you know, that life-changing payout. Thanks, guys.